Hey there, restaurant pros. David Scott Peters here, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula and your coach. Whether you're a restaurant owner wanting to know what you should be expecting from your management team, or you're a manager trying to learn what it takes to be the best you can, understanding the basics of restaurant management is critical. Give me your undivided attention. I'll share with you the basics of restaurant management in just a moment. Hey, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, and oh yeah, that bell so you're notified when my next tip comes out. And if you want more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant or hear restaurant owner success stories, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Hey, look, running a restaurant has not fundamentally changed in decades. Take care of the guests and make money while you're doing it. Boy, does that sound easy, right? Nothing has really changed. But running a restaurant is often filled with crisis management, high stress, and lots of pressures. It feels like all we're doing is we're killing snakes, the closest snake to us. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you the 6 things you've got to have in place to understand the basics of restaurant management. The first one is you need to have systems in place for Restaurant 101. Now, let's be very clear. A system is a process, a way to doing anything and everything in your business, your way. Systems are critical to your success. We start off with systems for Restaurant 101, why we were put on this earth, great hospitality. You need systems for training because not everybody has that hospitality gene just built into them. They need to know the steps of service. They need to know cleanliness. They need to know hot food hot, cold food cold. We need to make sure that we take care of our guests in every aspect. Well, training is critical. Next, you got to have systems in place that share your core values. So you've got to sit down with your partners or yourself, create and document your core values, train your core values on a daily basis, that your employees make decisions based off your core values, not their own. And when they do so, when they make a mistake, they'll never be in trouble. See, when your employees go against your core values, let's say quality is an incredible core value for you. You are going to jump up and down. It's visceral to you when somebody puts out a shitty product. When they do, you lose your temper. Because why? It's visceral. It's deep down inside of you. Well, we teach the importance of quality if maybe they buy a product, right? Chef is trying to really emphasize quality, but you don't make money on it because it's such high quality. Now you can coach and say, hey, here's how we make money. Here's what I mean by quality, versus buying a shitty product because they're trying to make bonus and you're going to lose it, right? So we need systems for that. 2, you need systems for strong communication. Systems, again, a system, a process, a way to doing anything. I need a manager log that every day we openly communicate with each other. Management's all on the same page. We know what's going on a daily basis. We get to know what training needs to be done, what items got 86, what features we're running for the day, what training tools we're going to be putting in place, you name it. Along with that, we need weekly manager meetings. Right? You need a system to communicate exactly what you missed last week, what you hit last week as far as your goals, what this week looks like, and what you're moving towards. As you assign people exactly what they need to be done, the projects, the tasks, you make sure everyone's moving forward. Communication is critical. And that needs to go all the way down to your employees. You need systems like pre-shift meetings for every shift. So you need to outline all the things that are going to happen that day. You need to have it for back house, for front of house. Those people who come in on stagger starts need to read them on the sheet. Because when we keep everyone on the loop, we have a much smoother running operation. Number 3, you need systems to proactively manage the restaurant. And that big proactive system for me, the number 1 thing are budgets. You've got to create your plan for success. See, you may start with a 38% food cost and know that you've got to bring it down to make money, but I need a budget to tell me how far. Because where do my labor numbers come in? Are they running high? Are they running low? Where do I have opportunities? And you're going to discover, hey, I'm going to implement this system and this system, prevent theft, reduce waste, give up ordering without giving up my checkbook. And I plan on training that, holding them accountable, and bringing down my food cost by 2-3 points. You just don't snap your fingers. You put your plan for success in place. You talk about maybe because of COVID, we implemented now these food runners or expos or to-go people, don't care what you call them, this extra labor. And as sales are coming back in our business, we need to start phasing that out. But I need a budget to show me where those opportunities are. And when I have that budget, I have my budget targets, I can implement the restaurant checkbook guardian that gives up ordering without giving up your checkbook. I can implement the restaurant payroll guardian where I can give my managers not only how much money they can spend, but how many hours they can schedule to go into next week on budget, go into the week on budget versus bringing people in and praying we're busy and cutting them when it's too late. See, a budget is critical to your plan for success. And your managers need to know what that plan is, what the systems are. You need to be able to train them on those systems. You get it? Number 4, systems to ensure the process is working. See, why do I have managers in the first place? To ensure the process is working, right? I have them to make sure my business is being run properly. The number one tool we're going to put as far as systems in this category are checklists. Checklists for opening and closing side work for everything we do, weekly side work, monthly side work, anything that you can imagine for managers or line employees, which allow us to impose our will without being there. And when followed properly, we change our culture to close to open, that we close every shift 100% ready to open the next shift. That's where we build trust. We get rid of the AM, PM blues when you walk in to find everything's wrong. You need to find out as a manager what's unique about each one of your team members. What do I mean? See, as a leader, as the restaurant owner, you don't care about each individual, what makes them unique. You care about all of them. But you say, here's where we're going. You direct them, let's go. But as a manager, you've got to find out what's unique about each person so you can push those buttons to get the most out of them. That's where the magic of a manager. So you have to find out about your people. You need to listen. You need to train. You need to be there for them. As a manager, you've got to be coaching your team members, right? You need to be coaching your team members, finding out not only what pushes their buttons, but find out what they're doing right. See, it's easy to go around the restaurant, find out what people are doing wrong. That's easy. But when you can find out what they're doing right, when you can communicate they're doing a great job, then when you find out what they're doing wrong and correct it, it's not a big deal. It's just what you do. You've got to have systems in place for accountability. As a manager, you have to hold people accountable to your systems, that there is a bar, that we don't lower the bar, we raise the bar. We train, we coach, we coddle, we make sure that our employees can do what's necessary to run a profitable business, that have happy customers, and that we have a great work environment. Accountability is critical to that. Number 5, you need systems to keep the business moving forward. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, you got to have special projects. When you have that weekly manager meeting, you've got to look out there and say, what do we need to be working on right now? What's a new priority that we become better? And stay on those. You've got to have systems in place to help you build sales. So that's marketing, whether it's an event, coupons, whether it is better service, selling, upselling, you get it. As a manager, their job is to increase sales, not just accept what sales walk in the door. As a manager, you got to develop your replacement. Here's the truth. A lot of managers hold on to everything. Oh, I've got to be the only one who could do it. I'm so important. Wrong. You need to train your replacement. Put good people around you. And oh, by the way, when they do a great job, you go, look at my team, what a great job they did. When they do a bad job, you need to look internally and go, my fault. It's fun to be at the top. And finally, 6, you need to have systems to become the better you. A better you, better than the day before. We've always got to look to improve. The best managers are always looking to improve. They have a growth mindset. They're never satisfied with the status quo. So you need to develop your systems, your process, your way to doing anything and everything in the restaurant. Now, whether that's been given to you by the ownership or you're just in the process of creating those systems, now is the time. There's one system, one process, one way to doing everything, whether it's counting out a bar door to $300 every single time, or advanced things like dollars per labor hour worked to look at efficiencies. You've got to create those systems. You need to be out there looking, listening, learning, whether it's reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, right? Don't care what it is, you're going out there to become better, to learn that one little thing that takes your career to the next level, that makes you better, and better yet, train others to learn what you did. You need to attend workshops and seminars, whether it's going to a restaurant show like Nightclub and Bar or Pizza Expo, or a regional show like a California, Florida, or a show from your local restaurant association. Go out there, hit the seminars, always become better. Even if you think you know what they're going to talk about, if you walk away with that one idea that could change your trajectory, not only for your career, but the restaurant you're in, it's priceless. You need to work with a coach, whether that's the owner in the business, whether it's you're reaching out to find somebody like me. You need to look outside your four walls because you only know what you know, meaning you don't know what you don't know. So coaches often help us take our direction and point it in the right way that we can reach our career goals, the profitability for the restaurant, to become the best leader, manager we could be. So let me recap. You need, number one, systems for Restaurant 101. 2, systems for strong communication. 3, systems to proactively manage the restaurant. 4, systems to ensure the process is working. 5, systems to keep the business moving forward. And 6, systems to become the better you, better than you were the day before. See, restaurant management basics, they're pretty heavy. I mean, when you list all these basics of restaurant management out, you can quickly see how important your managers are, how important they are to your business, how important it is to train and coach them, to help them become the best they can be. And more importantly, you have to have your systems. You need systems in place for everything you do. You need them in place as soon as possible because there is a system, a process, a way to doing anything and everything in your business your way. And when you bring on a manager without your systems, you're hoping they have common sense, and that's a recipe for disaster. So even if that's you today, work with your management team, create those systems, document those systems, record those systems with your cell phone, find every way possible to impose your will without being there, to create that trainable system, because systems are critical to restaurant management basics. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run. With these trained and responsible people in place, you can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free training course that teaches you exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.